I actually have authority to speak on this as someone who has a dog that looks almost identical to Kaya. Hi, big boy. His name's Odin. He needs a bath, but Odin. There is not a shock collar in the world. In the world. Also, Hasan is absolutely...
Oh, I didn't even realize I wasn't even showing this. It's pretty funny that while Kaya was away from the camera, people were like, "Where's your hostage? Where's Kaya?" Now that she's back sleeping on her cot, they're like, "Oh, I see. She's still a hostage." It's so funny. When she's away, they're like, "Oh, you released her from her prison." Or maybe because she just gets to do whatever the fuck she wants, dummies. As has always been the case. And you guys got duped by some of the dumbest, most schizophrenic content creators on the internet. You should move her bed out of the frame. We've been bad. I know. She went to her bed on her own. Everyone saw us. So much for being uncomfortable there. No, you see, one, that will never get clipped, obviously. And two, no, I actually secretly zapped her with an electrocuted collar. I secretly zapped her to put her to sleep. I actually zapped her so hard that she literally fell asleep. It's devastating. I'm trusting you in the circumstance where the memes are fire at least. Yeah, the memes are pretty funny, but it doesn't matter. Kai thing makes no sense. The dog's been on camera for years. Why only one incident? I think it's because the video itself, like the video of that incident, was heavily brigaded very quickly, and it does look very bad. So this was a great opportunity for the hate watchers to instantly blow this shit up. It's also taking place at a time when like there's not a lot of other news going on. No, from the perspective of slop tubers, chatters, they're not going to talk about the ceasefire. It's actually really interesting though, because like Ostenox saw it when we uploaded the video. He sent me a message, and apparently, as soon as the video, my latest video talking about the Kaya Gate came out, which is now sitting at 597,000 views, you were lied to. Apparently, there were comments with 600 upvotes 4 minutes in. The video had just been released 4 minutes prior to this, with only 3 replies. Why does her dog have to stay in that small space for hours on end? 676 upvotes for a comment that came out 4 minutes prior. At the time, the video itself had like 9,000 views or something. The video would have been up for 4 minutes. How is that possible? How is that possible, you might be asking yourself? Well, that's because they're botting comments. Like they're botting comments early on in order to drive discourse. And then they turn around and then they will turn around and say, look, a lot of people are very mad. A lot of people are obviously very mad at him. Even his own audience. Even other people were aware of this. Look at this. 4 minutes ago, Dub City. For those of you who want the short answer, yes, he did it. 678 upvotes. Has this guy never owned a dog? They sleep a lot. I think a lot of people have actually unironically never owned a dog. Yeah, that is a real issue that I've noticed as well. And the people that do have dogs don't actually train their dogs at all, and they just like let whatever the they want. They let their dogs do whatever the they want, and they think like that is actually the best possible way to like. That's the best possible way to be a dog parent, and it's like the exact opposite. Yeah, one must ask the question though: why is the Kaya Gate a national story in the nation state of Israel? So strange. Interesting. How could this 10-second incident that betrays thousands and thousands of hours of growing up in front of the camera, getting trained in front of the camera, having fun in front of the camera, how could this brief moment that people heavily brigaded turn into such a giant issue? How could that have happened? So much so that they were covering it in Israel.
Incredible that nobody thought it was possible to get it done. And very importantly, the hostages are coming back. As you know, they consider them hostages. They talk about them as hostages, but there are approximately 28 dead people, mostly young, mostly men, but and boys. I mean, boys. The one woman talked about her baby. Her baby's 25 years old, but you know, to her it's her baby, and we're bringing them home. We're getting everything, and to those parents, the dead young man is just as important as though this person were alive. It's amazing. I've never seen anything quite like it. I've been very much involved. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Bro does not understand
but
how human beings work.
It's really peace in the Middle East. And you remember October 7th was terrible, but also from the Hamas standpoint, they probably lost 70,000 people. That's big retribution. That's big retribution. But at some point, that whole thing has to stop, and we're going to see to it. Gaza is going to be slowly redone. You have tremendous wealth in that part of the world by certain countries, and just a small part of that, what they make will do wonders for Gaza. And I think you're going to see some tremendous countries stepping up and putting up a lot of money and taking care of things. But there's tremendous spirit like I haven't seen, and even the news. I won't call it fake news for this purpose, because they really were very fair today, I must tell you, in all cases. But they covered it very well. They covered it very fairly. Everybody loves it. Everybody. People that were never giving us a fair shake, frankly, they can't even believe it. They're so they're amazed by it. A lot of people are. But it was just everything came together. I think the attack was very important on Iran, because let's say that didn't happen, they'd probably by now have numerous. And therefore, even if we signed a deal, there'd be a big dark cloud over it, and it wouldn't be the same thing. So Iran's different, but Iran wants to work on peace now. They've informed us, and they've acknowledged that they are totally in favor of this deal. They think it's a great thing. So we appreciate that, and we'll work with Iran. As you know, we have major sanctions on Iran and lots of other things. We would like to see them be able to rebuild their country too, but they can't have it. So I want to express my tremendous gratitude to the leaders of Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey for helping us reach this incredible day.
Turkey mission. Bro, it's never not funny that these motherfuckers will look at straight up passed out Kaya in the background and go, free that dog. She's sleeping, brother. She's sleeping. What do you think's going on there? She has no choice but to sleep there? Yeah, that's what you would think if you were a dumbass. But you quite literally, if you were in here like, I don't know, 30 minutes ago, you would have seen her walk over to the cot and go to sleep on the cot on her own volition. It's obvious that you have a sleep collar on her. I think that's what it is. I want you to understand, I saw a drawn comic about Kai getting shocked fucking deranged. Oh no, there's mad art that came out of it. I gave her Tylenol.
And for being there, they were there with us all the way. And of course, as you know, Saudi Arabia and Jordan and so many. I will tell you, President Erdogan was personally involved in dealing with Hamas and some of the others. He's been great. They've all been really amazing. Indonesia's been amazing. Indonesia's been fantastic. The whole world has come together for this. People that didn't get along.
I just realized this is a new chair meme. People will clip long ass moments where Kaiser's laying down on her bed saying that she's being abused. Yeah, it's pretty funny because it's like people will be like, oh, she's being abused. Hasan, when the chud dog does anything. Okay, there's a lot of funnier memes than this one. This one is like the ass, bro. This was drawn by a fucking child. I've seen way funnier memes. If these people could only see what it takes to train a service dog, they would be horrified. Yeah. The riding ones are pretty funny. I think the riding ones are funny. This is just ass. But at least it's not AI. This one was hilarious. This one is AI. Haters will say it's AI. No, it's real. This is a thing that happened. I am Pikachu. One of my favorite moments among Kai compilations is when she starts wagging her tail only when Hasan looks at her. How did you do that? What a menace this girl is. What a menace. Ray was like, oh, here, this is a toy that she hasn't been able to break. Little did she know, Kaya, of course, is capable of breaking all toys. Look at her. What'd you do to your toy? You broke it. Wag your tail at me like that. Little cutie pie. Oh my God. Yeah, little do you know, I actually have an electrocution collar that forcibly makes her wag her tail. Little do people know. Yeah, it specifically shocks her tail. She's using the only language that she can out of fear. I feel so bad for those of you who come in here strictly for the news. I know. You look so young back then. What happened? Oh, I fucking existed on the internet. Look at this. It's crazy. Look, watch when I turn around. Tail wag stops. Tail wag stops when I look away. Oh, she's so fucking cute. Oh my God. Also, rejoice. You get to see a brief moment of solace, and it's a cute Kaya video. Dog enjoyer here. Kaya is clearly exhibiting comfort behavior that is very clearly very secure, comforting environment for her. This behavior is not normal, but instead a display of being cared for and loved extremely. And before people say the dog has Stockholm syndrome. Yeah. The haters are in here right now. I wonder how they're feeling about this, because I know they haven't stopped. They must be white knuckling through this, trying to figure out a way to say that, like, no, you controlled her. They won't post this stuff. Yeah, of course they won't. What a cutie patootie. Quiet. Don't even. She got bored of eating the chew stick, or she got bored of eating the lamb horn, or ram horn, sorry. And now she's like, come on, let me get out of this bed. The crazy part is all the professional dog trainers on TikTok are saying, what the fuck are you guys talking about? I know. I know. It's because there are obviously far more people who don't not only train their dogs or don't understand how like dog training works in general, than there are people who are dog enjoyers from afar who don't know what it takes, or dog enjoyers. Dog trainer here yesterday, when you took off the collar to show everybody when you put it back on, she came right over to you. If she was worried about getting shocked, wouldn't she avoid the collar? She clearly has no issues putting on that collar. I know, but that's, once again, you are a dog trainer, so you obviously know that that is not the case. Most people, unfortunately, are not only not dog trainers, but they don't even fucking train their dogs if they have any dogs to begin with. It's just fucking idiotic. Why is she always on the bed? Again, okay, I'm done responding to this. It's because I love torturing her. It's my torture technique. Are you happy? Or maybe because I don't want her to get fucking hip dysplasia by sleeping on the hardwood floor. But then again, it doesn't even matter because she gets the free roam regardless. And she also voluntarily goes to her cot to sleep, as she is doing currently. Unless you think I've perfected some kind of mind control electrocution technique. Such a liar. You get frustrated when she attempts to leave her bed. Oh my fucking Lord. Yes. I don't want her to break her place command. That is a normal part of, I'm again talking to a person who doesn't know what reinforcing training looks like. Okay? When a dog is trained, that doesn't mean you just go, all right, well, she's educated. Okay, you need to still reinforce training. This doesn't mean that she is not free to leave or that she is consistently trapped. What's one of the funniest, by the way, one of the funniest aspects of this is that, like, there are probably dog owners that are really pissed off about this, who unironically, one, never take their dog out as much as I do, and two, don't actually fucking get to see their dog for the entire day. They just like crate their fucking dog for 8 hours. Meanwhile, Kai gets to free roam in the house, gets to lay on the cot as long as she's in this room, okay? And literally is by her owner every single fucking moment of the day, and also gets to go on another hour-long walk at night. And the motherfuckers who like abuse the fuck out of their own dogs, unironically, are, I think, personally, a little bit upset about the way that they don't have the level of freedom that I do. That they just have to like invent. They just have to invent different ways of claiming that I'm actually being very, very bad.
I actually have authority to speak on this as someone who has a dog that looks almost identical to Kaya. Hi, big boy. His name's Odin. He needs a bath, but Odin. There is not a shock collar in the world. In the world. Also, Hasan is absolutely...
Oh, I didn't even realize I wasn't even showing the screen. Hold on.
I actually have authority to speak on this as someone who has a dog that looks almost identical to Kaya. Hi, big boy. His name's Odin. He needs a bath, but Odin. There is not a shock collar in the world. In the world. Also, Hasan is absolutely right about their joints. My big guy's already had to have surgeries on both of his elbows. Now, I let my big boy roam around, but I have rugs up and carpets in every room because hard floors are harder on their joints. Hip dysplasia is a real thing in these types of breeds. It's not abuse. He is not abusing his dog.
She's also much larger than this little chonker too. The haters have no object permanence, thinking that when Kaya isn't in the room, she's disappeared. Yeah. Another point, many dog owners don't professionally train their dogs, which is sad because training teaches a shared language that improves the connection they have with their owner. Oh, 100%. There's nothing cooler than being able to, there is nothing cooler than being able to go out and fucking free roam. Like going to an event, because sometimes I'll take Kaya to like literally events where there's like other human beings. It's like a party or whatever, as you guys have seen. And I can just like recall her if I need to. Like, it's awesome. Or being able to go out even at night. And, I've brought her to meet and greets. I've brought her to like big events. I go out at the park and let her fucking run around. Okay. Let her roam around. And I can just like easily be like, I can tell her to come back. And boom, because she's petrified, you're going to shock her if she doesn't return? Yeah, exactly. No, definitely. Or because I have a dog that is not a working dog, but can work in that capacity. Perhaps the truth is different than what you think is going on, you know?
So she's part chow, and chows are lazy as hell. They just are.
Yeah. It is what it is. What are you going to do? I'll hit that with a repost. Boom. Can we get to the news? All right, come on, man. Let me fucking... PBM defended you. I saw that.
Man, these niggas trying to do me like HasanAbi, nigga. Hey, free Hasan. They going crazy on that boy. I seen the dog shit. Hasan, bro. Niggas on your nuts right now. Shit cooked.
I saw that. I've never met a dog that's scared of their owner that's able to rest like Kaya. This is bullshit and you're still a go-to dog dad. Bro, if she was scared, I don't think she'd be jumping on me while I'm doing a fucking interview and demanding uppies while I'm in the process of doing a fucking interview. Unless you think that I also taught her a different technique. Unless you think I taught her a different technique to also jump on my lap while I'm doing an interview and I activated the secret electrocution. Like, it's just so fucking stupid. I've joined like 3 times. They're still talking about the collar. Look at this. The fixation on discrediting you rather than engaging with ideas feels almost like a subconscious admission that our politics hold moral weight. If you can't argue against leftist principles on their merits, you attack the character of the person embodying them. It's less a refutation of leftism than an inadvertent endorsement of how persuasive it's become. No, that's always been the case. Because I think deep down inside, everyone has like a secret, hidden, underlying leftist moral code. Straight up. Unless they're like truly villainous, okay? Most people obviously abide by, basic first principles like sharing is caring, things of that nature. And when expanded on in the form of legislation, it turns into maybe a little too close to a socialist understanding of the world. And therefore, a lot of people, I think, are afraid of recognizing that they might be wrong. And instead, they just lash out. Yeah, if you're elderly and 36 and wondering why the entire timeline is flooded with posts about Hasan and his dog, let me explain. There are people doing a massive far-right coordinated hit on him based on nothing, and then there are gullible and cynical idiots helping them. Yeah. How Hitler with dogs versus Hasan with dogs. How Hitler treats his dogs, how Hasan treats his dogs. This person is obviously pro-Hitler, by the way. I'm just really impressed on how organized they were in spreading this bullshit. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the news.
All people that didn't like each other, neighboring countries that frankly
Didn't see you press something? I didn't. I did not. I know you want me to. I know you want me to. I know it makes it easier for you to believe that I did something like that. But that's not what happened.
like each other, but now it's just this moment in time. So we look forward to welcoming the hostages, like you can't believe, home to their families, and that'll take place early next week. We hope Monday or Tuesday. And all Americans should be proud of the role that our country has played in bringing this terrible conflict to an end. And I want to thank, some of the people, JD, you were fantastic, and Pete, you were great. Marco was fantastic. Some of you were very much involved. I'm looking around. So indirectly, I think almost everybody in this room was involved. Susie, I want to thank you very much. You were incredible. You've done an incredible job. So, and yes, John, what you've done was invaluable. CIA, John Ratcliffe, and he's done an incredible job. So I want to thank you all, and if I'm missing anybody, I apologize, but you've been amazing. And then you have Steve Witkoff, who worked so hard. And you remember we settled 7, this is number 8, we settled 7 wars, or major conflicts, but wars, and this is number 8. And the one that I thought would be maybe the quickest of all would be Russia-Ukraine, and I think that's going to happen too. But in the meantime, they're losing about 7,000 people a week, and that seems pretty bad. They're losing mostly soldiers, young soldiers. They go out to war, and they're getting killed. And while it doesn't affect us in a lot of ways, we've got a big ocean in between, you don't want to see that happen. It was a big mistake. That war should have never happened. It would have never happened if I were president.
And I think what's important to understand is that yesterday what happened was really a human story. There's a geopolitical aspect to it. There's no doubt about it. It creates the condition.
The Israeli government has approved the deal. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's office, Hebrew account, says the government has now approved the plan of the release of all hostages, the living and the fallen. To be fair, this was the first video I saw that actually made me question you for a short while. It does look really bad in the video, but then I asked myself if Maya and all the others could have missed such a huge thing, and the answer was no. Yeah, that's also the reason why they're fucking actively hounding and going after all of my friends aggressively. So much so that there's like initiatives to try to like fucking take away Alveus's like accreditation and shit. It's so fucking crazy. Maya hasn't even said anything, and she's like, and just because she's been around Kaya, that people are like attacking her. It is fucking insane. Milo Yiannopoulos is like leading the charge. I really hate you for how much you're feeding into this. You're making this bigger every time you talk about it. That's true. I was in a 50 viewer Hearthstone stream last night and some dude came in trying to bring up the drama. It's nutty. I know. I think it's also a state of, it's also a state of how things are on the internet. Like the only thing that gears people up is just like negativity, like participating in witch hunts, no matter how silly it looks. I'm also terrified of what the future holds with AI. I think if people can go off of one fucking clip like that and go this crazy, there's going to be an AI video of me eventually. There's going to eventually be an AI video of me, and people are just going to believe it, because this is the first instance that I have. No, they're using AI for this, but they're like fucking memeing. The AI they're using is to just meme. Like, I'm saying, like, if people are this primed to believe such a fucking incredible claim, okay? If people are this primed to believe such an incredible claim, then they're gonna believe fucking AI slop too. Straight up. You were always streaming, so they would not matter. No, I'm saying like a stream clip, like a fake AI stream clip or something. If it looks even like remotely credible, if it looks remotely credible, you think these fucking boomers? You think these fucking boomers know the distinction? And do you think these fucking Zoomers who are just angry and frustrated and want to take it out on someone like myself, you think they're gonna not use this? There's also a major unemployment crisis too, obviously. But yeah, I think we're just like an incredibly fucking ruthless. We have become very, very ruthless on the internet.
For Gaza to one day be a normal place again and people to have a better life and Israelis to be safe. But yesterday was a human story. And because of the work you put in, and honestly, not only is there no other leader in the world that could have put this together, Mr. President, but frankly, I don't know of any American president in the modern era that could have made this possible. Because of the actions you have taken unrelated to this and because of who you are and what you've done and how you're viewed. And this weekend, because of that, at some point very soon, we are going to...
It did certainly become much larger than anything else. This is the biggest cancellation attempt of your career I've seen in the last 5 years. Every single Twitch stream for the last 2 days I've been in, people come in and try to say how horrible you are unprompted. Half the streamers I watch have never spoken about you and are not political in any way, for sure. And it doesn't even end there. They like go after my friends too, like people that have been around Kaya, that have been around Kaya, and they're like, dude, why are you guys hiding the truth that like Kaya is fucking abused? Like Kaya is an abused dog. Like I can't believe you guys are all party to like dog abuse and shit. Mike from PA mentioned that we do low-key suck at defensive talking points when fake stuff happens to you, while the psychos, on the other hand, are very organized. Do we push through or do we try to become more clear? Anything can be done. I mean, the problem is, the problem is like, we don't have the same network of influence. We don't have the same network of influence at all on the left. And leftists are also easily duped in this situation too, because like, there is this understandable notion of like moral purity that requires that is at the heart of being a leftist to begin with. And sometimes that can be weaponized against leftists in general. But not only that, all of the other people that exhibit the same values that I have, for example, all my friends, all my other content creator friends, they don't want to be on the receiving end of what they see happens to me with regular frequency. That's part of the reason why a lot of my haters will actively not only brigade myself, but also flood the zone with everybody else. Will actively threaten and cyber stalk all of the friends and associates that I have as well in an effort to maintain their silence. And it's very difficult for me to tell them like, hey guys, it's gonna be all right. You just fucking don't pay attention to it. Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. That's a big part of it, because like no one on our end of the political spectrum is ever going to fucking entertain like mass brigades and mass doxing initiatives and cyber stalking people, you know? And I'm never going to be like, we should counter brigade shit. And it hasn't worked so far. Like they want to make me radioactive. They want to make me a toxic person. And it obviously has not worked, but it doesn't matter. They still try. Smear campaign. I have evidence. I have screenshots of people being paid to spread the narrative to give you a negative image. Yeah, well, bro, it gets much worse. I saw 500 to 100 AI videos in the last day on TikTok. If you go to the comments, there are at least 60% of people who comment in belief of what the video is. So people do unironically think I'm like riding. Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to move on from this. Oh, you meant general dog videos with like dogs saving like little kids and stuff. Is it comparable to Porsche new house days? Yes. The GP stream was so fun. I really hate how quickly that moment passed because of this bullshit. No, that was the reason. This kind of stuff happens anytime I'm in the spotlight in a positive way. It's not an accident. Think about it. Anytime I do some shit that gets me like media attention or whatever, you'll often notice like that immediately is followed by like a sea of negative articles written by Hasbara papers, usually like New York Post, Daily Mail. They'll be like, how dare this like Hamas militant get a positive coverage from the New York Times, stuff like that. And it's I think done specifically to is done specifically to like tweak the algo to make sure that there isn't like it's done specifically to tweak the algo to ensure that the SEO doesn't show me in a positive light at all. There is no other person that's been this heavily scrutinized on the internet though. Like, and if this is all they got, you know, I think that's proof that I'm not doing anything fucking insane. Yeah, apparently Democrat influencers on Chorus were also joining in on the chorus of fake criticism, disingenuous attempts at manufacturing outrage.